Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. XRP has lost a position in terms of market cap. Here you can see on livecoinwatch.com. It was at number 6, and now it's at number 7. Solana has been performing well, so it took the number 6 spot, while over the last 24 hours in particular, XRP has been down a bit. Now, I don't think this is going to matter big picture. I really sincerely do not. For the last several years, my bet has been that XRP is either going to have a parabolic run, an intense one where it hits its all-time high and then enters price discovery, or it's going to go to zero. Now, given the current adoption, the fact that XRP is moving in tandem with the rest of the market in general, I'm guessing it's the former, not the latter. I think at some point it will hit its all-time high and enter price discovery, and my bet is that everything that happens in between will, in the end, be inconsequential. None of this movement matters, up or down, which is endless. It's what it's been for several years. Because look, excuse me, to be clear here, despite the fact that for much of the time that I've been running this YouTube channel, we are in a bear market, like that does not factor into ultimately, will the market have an alt season in which XRP participates? It has no bearing on that whatsoever, and we're actually seeing indications that some coins are starting to pop off. I'm going to highlight one in particular in this video, and there have been suspicions as a result from all sorts of analysts that I follow that this could be an indication that alt season is coming here. Excuse me. Also, a Bloomberg intelligence analyst reports that Bitcoin will continue to outpace the stock market. So I want to share with you a couple thoughts on that. And then I have some expectations from a couple analysts that I want to share with you in terms of where things are going in the short term and the long term. And then there was also, I do have this, and finally, I haven't had an update on this forever, but Flare Networks, we've got a tentative launch date. We have an actual tentative launch date for Flare, because I know everybody out there is wondering, when Spark token? Yes, well, we'll talk about that. But before going any further, I do want to be clear that I do not have a financial background of any kind. I'm not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. At the time I record this, XRP is at 82 cents, Ethereum at 32.99. It's been down too. It's been interesting to see. Now, actually, frankly, most of the market has been down. So, like, when we're looking at the fact that XRP just lost a position in terms of market cap, a huge factor in this is that Solana happened to be having a run-up recently. But still, the market moves in tandem. That's why I always say, like, if you zoom out on a chart, you can see that. But if you're looking on the weekly chart, which is to your right here, if you're looking on your screen here, when you're looking at Solana, it's up, and every other chart in the top 10, outside of the stablecoins, of course, look very samey. This is not a problem. This is not weird. This is very normal for crypto. Crypto is doing what crypto does, which is why I keep saying all the volatility in the short term, even over the last several years, it's not going to matter in the end. That's what I firmly believe. Bitcoin's at 45,874. Market cap for the asset class 2.1 trillion, and Bitcoin dominance at 40.94%. And here's the crypto fear and greed index, because I know you're wondering every day when you wake up, how are those poor, lovable, cuddly little retail speculating lemmings out there, how are they doing today? Well, they're feeling okay. They're not excited, they're not sad, they're neutral. At 52 out of 100. And why? Because reasons. Now, take a look at this tweet from my fellow XRP YouTuber, the Blockchain Backer. I got a couple charts on the screen for those of you that care to look. And he wrote, Zilliqa is doing precisely what we've been discussing for altcoin season. We've compared the structures happening in altcoins and showed how this same thing occurred in 2017. I'm not saying to buy Zilliqa. It's up 500% in a week. The ship is sailed, showing the similarity. So that's what he's showing right here. So you've got Zilliqa on the top and Sia coin, another cryptocurrency, on the bottom. So when alt season, is this a hint that things are getting getting a little spicy here? Well, maybe. Here's a 90-day chart for Zilliqa, cryptocurrency Zilliqa, and you can see it's rather pronounced. A lot of sideways trading, nothing happens, then up out of nowhere, bam, boom. 1 week, 500%. See, this is what it is to be in crypto, and that's why it's like, imagine if you're the person, oh my god, I'm bored and I'm impatient and this thing's never going, some other coins are doing this or that, I'm going to get out of my Zilliqa position, and then boom, 500% up. This is why I keep saying, like, it's if you're just trading because you're impatient, something hasn't done something in a long time, you better listen to Warren Buffett's advice about the stock market, which does apply to crypto. He said, be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. He also said, and this is the most relevant to this year, He said that the stock market is a mechanism for transferring wealth from the impatient to the patient. How about that? It's this, because look, why does it apply when he was talking about stocks and this is crypto? It's the same humans with the same DNA being just as irrational. It's just more pronounced because there's a frenzy around this asset class and the markets are way more illiquid. It's just not clear what the winners and losers will be if you fast forward a couple decades in terms of long-term viability and adoption. That's all that's happening here. So, you may be feeling this way about XRP or any number of other cryptocurrencies. Hold on, my gosh, it's been so long. They're just trading so long. Yeah, okay, fine, that's true. But look at this. This is what the hell happens out of nowhere. The same thing happened for XRP at the end of 2017. That's just how it works, folks. There is this tweet from chart analyst Michael Vandepop on the same topic. He wrote, shared this one earlier in which it was on higher time frame support. Now it's up 500%. Zilliqa. Wouldn't rush into a position here at all. A correction will come and is inevitable. Don't chase hype. And I don't know if anybody cares. I've never owned Zilliqa in my entire life. I know absolutely nothing about it. So I'm not saying good or bad things about it. I'm just saying it's behaving like you'd expect a cryptocurrency to behave. Most of the market, it's moving about the same. This is an outlier in that sense. But even then, again, like I say, zoom out on a chart. It's going to look the same as everything else. They all look the same. The market moves in tandem. It freaking doesn't matter. It really doesn't. But it's interesting to see. So it makes you wonder, is alt season coming soon? Well, Michael Vandepop seems to think that's quite possible. Here's another tweet from him from a bit earlier today. He wrote, altcoins had a year-long bear market, most of them. I think they are done with that and we're close to a new cycle. That's his tweet. Now, I don't know that I necessarily agree with the terminology bear market associated with this. I mean, most of what we saw was a lot of sideways trading with most altcoins over most of the last year, but not entirely. I mean, XRP, think about how it began in January of last year and what was it at? 27, 29 cents, whatever it was. And then it ran up to almost $2 in April. It was an interesting year for XRP, let's say. let's definitely agree that it was an interesting year for XRP, even though it's artificially suppressed in terms of price action. Even it moved a bit last year. So maybe that's all it is. To me, it's an inevitability. At some point, all of this is going to move. It's just a question of when. I'm going to outpatient everyone else. That's it. Now take a look at this from the Daily Hodl. Bitcoin will continue to outperform stock market, says Bloomberg intelligence analyst Mike McGlone. Here's why. Now, there's just a portion of this that I wanted to highlight is towards the end of the article. And I had a couple things I wanted to share with you on this. So here's what the article states. McGlone says Bitcoin has attributes that make it a valuable asset class. Now, I'll pause to note there that Bitcoin is not an asset class. Bitcoin is an asset within an asset class, but Anyway, here's the quote from McGlone. Bitcoin's supply is declining by code and its demand and adoption are rising, and you're really seeing from the war its value coming out as the store value exchange mechanism. In some places, becoming global collateral. To me, that's the macro big picture that was pulled down initially with that lower tie from the stock market. So I'll just pause to note, as far as any global happenings that are occurring right now, that's not going to impact the long-term viability of XRP. I meant to say Bitcoin, though. Bitcoin one way or another. Even if there's a short-term impact of anything with what's happening with Russia and Ukraine, all this stuff, it's not going to do anything to impact the long-term viability of Bitcoin. And so it is interesting to see in the short term how crypto is acting in regards to what's happening with the stock market. And I got more to share with you, but let me read this next quote first, which goes as follows. It's still going to be a pressure factor, but I'll end with this. The significance is Bitcoin is up on the air with 5% or so, and the NASDAQ is still down about 7%. It's showing divergent strength with which I expect to continue. Well, I think this is undeniably the most likely outcome. I'm not saying that stocks will continue to go down, but look, this is true of any crypto asset, not just Bitcoin. One of the many reasons I'm excited to hold XRP, is that fact. Although crypto is correlated to stock market moves, when moves up happen, they're way more pronounced for crypto than the stock market, resulting in asymmetrical gains, which are life-changing in many cases. That just is the case. But what we've seen to this point is that still crypto is moving with the stock market. I don't know that it's always going to do that. This is an immature asset class, but that's what's happening right now. So yes, acknowledging correlation, fair to point out, but the moves are so much more pronounced to the upside That's why it's way more appealing to me to be in crypto than the stock market, which isn't to say there shouldn't be diversification, which isn't to say that the risk portfolio of those are the same. They're not. I'm just saying I'm happy with the exposure that I have to crypto and specifically to XRP. Because look at how small XRP's market cap is. I'm excited about this. 39 billion, and then Bitcoin's is 870 billion, and the asset class moves together. You understand what that means for the multiplier effect for XRP for as long as we're seeing this this market move in tandem? That's incredible. I love how small XRP's market cap is because that tells me I'm not in too late. The biggest moves, the most exciting moves are yet to be had. That's what I'm looking for. No guarantee in any of this, but that's what I'm counting on. I've made my bet. And then there's this from the Daily Huddle. Here's a headline. Bitcoin on its way to $70,000 once it gets over one hurdle. Crypto analyst Nicholas Merton. Popular crypto analyst Nicholas Merton says Bitcoin is in the middle of a push to $70,000 with one critical resistance level left in play. In a new strategy session, Merton tells his 514,000 YouTube subscribers that Bitcoin is currently facing a big point of resistance between $48,000 and $50,000 range. The analyst predicts that Bitcoin puts up a fight at current levels for the better part of the next month before making its next attempt at convincingly shattering the $50,000 range. And I'll just pause to say I am really looking forward to what happens here. Are the people that say Bitcoin's in a bear market and we're going to see a major correction to the downside correct? Or the people that say Bitcoin, it's been correcting for a long time, but we're going to see a blast off in a new all-time high? Are they right? This is going to play out one way or the other, and so much time has passed at this point, it might indeed be the case that we don't have to wait that much longer to see. But here's a quote from Nicholas Merton. All the while, I would love for the price to just go vertical tomorrow. We're probably going to see price starting to continue retest this range. Break above there, start to have some consolidation, might be even a little bit of volatility. It might even break to $50,000 and break resistance there. The key point I want to focus on is that price is probably going to chop sideways for a lot of April before we can start to see a trend higher. The key point I want to talk about is the importance, significance, and the benefit of turning resistance into support. It solidifies, it sends a message that, that the trend is no longer one to be skeptical of or conflicted about, that the bulls are in charge. They've turned any points of setbacks into new support, and they're ready to leap higher into price. And he goes on to cite here that range to look for specifically is around $45,000. And I'll just note, there's a tweet from Credible Crypto that's on your screen. I don't think it's necessary. If you want to read it, it's right there. But one of the things he's noting here is a support level in the same range that Nicholas Merton was citing, which is 45,000. At the time I'm recording this, it's above that. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully more to the upside. But either way, I just like... This is so easy to me. Like, so many people have a hard time because of the emotions, and I do understand, but this is so easy to me. All I have to do is sit around and do nothing, and then just ridiculous wealth. If I'm right. If I'm right. That's the question mark. Am I right? And when I say that, am I right about the explosive growth of crypto in general, including XRP and Bitcoin, and other coins as well? Are we going to see that? I think yes. I'm not having a hard time with this at all. This is super duper easy. I'm not even impatient, to be honest with you. I just don't even care. I mean, I care in the sense that it's fun. I enjoy following this. Obviously, I'm into it, or else I wouldn't enjoy making videos, and I wouldn't make videos every single freaking day. But in terms of like, is it negatively impacting me if the price goes? No, not in one little baby boo bit. And here's a post from Flare Networks. This post is titled Flare Rollout Process. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing. There's a lot of specifics. I could make a whole separate video if I wanted to on this. But for now, I'm going to share one piece of information, which I know has been on, the question's been on everybody's mind. When Flare Network? Well, take a look at this. It reads as follows. To mitigate Flare launch technical glitch risks, an audit with Trail of Bits, one of the most reputable firms in the space, has been booked to start on May 16th. This will run for 3 weeks, and provided no issues are found, Flare will aim to launch on July 4th. The team will confirm this date in mid-June when the audit completes. Well, hallelujah. Is this actually going to happen? I would love that. Now, unfortunately, one thing they didn't cite throughout this entire post is when the Spark tokens will be dispersed. So you're talking about it going live here. Okay, super duper. I do care. Happy to do that. Happy to see that. But when Spark token, don't know yet. I will keep you posted. I'll tell you what, though. I'm going to hold mine. I'm about 100% sure on that. I don't know if it's something that's going to have long-term viability or not, but I just have a feeling like whatever they're worth at the moment launch happens, maybe it rockets up and then it crashes down. Who knows? I don't know. I know that if I were to just sell whatever I had as soon as I had the opportunity, yeah, maybe you get a little bit out of it. Who knows what that dollar figure would be? I'm not really sure. But I'd rather just bet on this asset class, at least for the foreseeable future, moving up in tandem. So I'd rather just have exposure to this for the potential opportunity for it to be worth way, way, way more and see asymmetrical returns rather, relative to any other asset class. So I'm going to do that almost 100% certainty. If I change my mind, I'll be happy to talk about it, but that's what I'm looking to do. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.